there seems to be quite a lot of people upset at the title of Avengers 4, which of course is Avengers Endgame, because they had it in their head that the confirmed title of Avengers Annihilation was in fact true, and that was a better title. Let's talk about why it probably wasn't, and why that title I don't think was ever going to be it, but let's do it. So look, Avengers Annihilation is a good title. Admittedly, that's a great title. But that's a dumb title for this movie. It wouldn't have made sense. Annihilation, as I've said before, seems like the kind of like breakdown on everything. We've already had that with Infinity War, so you can't annihilate everything once again, right? It doesn't make sense. So, on one hand, Endgame kind of spells out what it is. But on the other hand, Annihilation is a title you're saving. They're saving this title because of Annihilus. The villain, the awesome space villain, who's mainly intertwined with the Fantastic Four. They're probably saving him. He's the result of Reed Richards messing with the negative zone, and here comes Annihilus to wreak havoc on the Marvel Comics universe. Here comes Annihilation Conquest. The storyline featuring the Silver Surfer, featuring Nova, Banner Ray Bill, Annihilus. Half of those are Fox characters that Disney is going to own in the next 6 months to a year. So when you eventually do Annihilus, which you will, because he's an awesome looking character, he's unique, and the title Avengers Annihilation is perfectly ready for it, that's what you're getting at, right? So that's honestly why I don't think that title was ever going to be it, because it just didn't make sense. Because once you have Annihilus, that's kind of cool, and it just kind of spells itself out. Oh, I'm watching Avengers Annihilation, and the Avengers villain is Annihilus. That's like Age of Ultron, right? Ultron is the villain. That makes sense, it's right there. Civil War, what's happening? Well, it's a civil war, it's kind of spelled out in the title, it's generalizing it. If you're gonna go and call the new movie Annihilation, has nothing to do with Annihilation Conquest or Annihilus, and then in a decade or 15 years or 20 years, you get to use Annihilus, and you've used Annihilation, then calling a movie 15 years from now Endgame doesn't make a lot of sense, since the Endgame of the entire first decade / 11 years was already kind of the bygone age, so yeah, I don't think it was ever going to be Annihilation.